222. Hey! This is the cast of The Lovers. Please give it up for them again. That is a powerful performance. And as ever, I'd like you to thank Julie because she's their +1. She hasn't been in rehearsals, but how good was Julie? Thank you so much. So that's a collaboration between qpac and Shake and Stir in association with Brisbane Festival. It was, if you couldn't guess, a remix of Midsummer Night's Dream, Heart of the Festival, and it's on at the Playhouse from the 13th of September through to early October. I'm just thrilled to be here today. My name's Ellen Fanning. I work just across the road in this beautiful cultural precinct of ours at 612 Agassiz Radio, Brisbane. I'd also like to begin by acknowledging we are on the land of the Yagara and Turrbal people, and we extend our respect to elders past and present. I'm looking at the faces in the crowd and I'm making some assumptions about who's here today, and thank goodness it is today and not yesterday in that terrible wind. You've all got a connection to qpac one way or another. I see artists in the community, local members of parliament, audience members, current employees, board members in the front row here, supporters, or maybe like me, your connection goes way back to 1985, which feels like just the other day, doesn't it? Wasn't it just the other day? Working here in late 1985 as an usher and a ticket taker among a whole heap of suburban Brisbane kids who were schooled under Tony Gould, the late wonderful Tony Gould, to provide absolutely world-class service, yes. How did they do it back in that time? It was a very, very big step up from the deli at Buranda. I was excellent at being able to slap down 200 grams precisely of ham, but that same amount of attention to detail was brought every night to this theatre. Who was coming, who needed assistance to come in, when was the lockout period, and how we were going to provide to Brisbane a world-class front-of-house service, and that went right through the organisation, and it is why it remains a world-class place, because that was what was imagined for it in the beginning. I want you to think back to 1985. Bob Hawke is the Prime Minister, Joh Bjelke-Petersen is the Premier of Queensland. We've had the 1982 Commonwealth Games, and we've yet to have Expo 88, where we really explode onto the world stage. And we're just starting to come out of our chrysalis of big country town into the sort of place Brisbane is today. There is a vision for this place, for a cultural precinct, an arts centre, a library to be created here. It began in 1982, the library was the first place to open, and by 1985, along comes qpac. In that time, the front of where you could be dropped off, because you know it would rain in Brisbane, so we just let you drive up to the stage door, and we had the boys were the commissaires, and they would stand there and help you out of your vehicle and take you upstairs. There was a beautiful fountain in this area that was supposed to make noises like permanent applause. That was gorgeous, and this whole area here, there was no cafe. This area was not, as they like to say in the arts, activated. It was just a green space. So we have a little video I'd like to play you to take us down memory lane to remember just how long ago 40 years was.
The logo for the Queensland Performing Arts Centre is a rainbow coming out of the world stage, and I knew that we would have one act with just balloons completely and make it like a floating rainbow above the city.
Undoubtedly, Queenslanders have made a wise decision. Within this elegant modern design, under the management of the Performing Arts Trust, the people of Queensland, and indeed of Australia as a whole, but certainly all Australians will want to come here, will now have available to them the whole vast treasure house of the world's theatrical and musical heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, as I was about to say before that slight interruption, I now have the greatest pleasure in declaring open officially the Performing Arts Complex.
I personally like to see it regarded very much as a Queensland complex, and not just a complex for the people of Brisbane. And it's very important, so far as the government is concerned, that it becomes a place for Queenslanders generally, and it will be just that.
Culture is growth, and it's the growing of the arts. It's the opportunity for both the visual arts and the performing arts to meet with the common man, and that's what it's all about. These are the homes for the confrontation of the artists, the performers, and the public.